We are moving on to the Solidity Programming Part 3, in which we are going to see the events, payable functions, and contract to contract communication, which is a very important thing for writing the writing the programs for the case studies. And these are mostly used, especially the payment is involved. Here, events. Using events, it is possible to store data in a specially indexed data structure that maps all the way up to the block level. Since contracts cannot access log data after it has been created, but they can be efficiently accessed from outside the blockchain, such as using JavaScript, PHP, Ruby, etc. from the front end. For that purpose, we use the events. So this event is especially to get the notification to the to get the information to the front end. Here is an example given, like program. So this pragma solidity greater than or equal to 0.4.21 and less than 0.7.0. Contract simple auction event highest bid increased. Now this is the event. Previously the bid was normal, maybe going like that, but the highest bid recorded so far was increased. This is an event actually. It must be reported onto the screen. So the event highest bid increased, address bidder and uint amount. This is an event. So this event must be this should be recorded as an event, and to trigger this event, function bid public payable, because this amount is a payable amount, payable one, emit highest bid increased message.sender and msg.value, triggering the event. So emit is used to trigger the event. This one must remember. So whenever an event has been written, it must be emitted so that that event will be triggered from some function or somewhere. So let us know the use of this program and modify the event. So same loan agent or bank loan related or bank related program that we have seen previously, the same we'll consider. Contract bank customer, we have taken this. Next, address of the bank, that is also there. Number of customers not known in advance, so we have kept an empty array like this, and customer, just we keep on filling this array. So constructor bank address is equal to message.sender, so we'll get the address of the creator of this contract. Event customer added, so whenever a new customer is added, it's an event. So string name and uint age. So anyhow the modifier banker, only the banker can do this operation. Function add customer. Well, function add customer. If it is a banker, then customer memory CU is equal to this and all we have seen previously. Now emit customer added of name comma age. Since the record has been added successfully here, so this event should be reported to the front end. So that is the reason we'll use this emit customer added of name comma age. So the one who added recently will be recorded and will be reported to the front end. Function get customer name, this is the normal way of writing. This is via index, we will fetch the customer object and will return the customer name. This already we have seen previously. Now only one thing we have added here, event. Especially this event is to report the changes happened in the contract. So using events, it is possible to store the data in a specially indexed data structure that maps all the way up to the block level. So that is the reason is contracts cannot access the log data after it has been created, but they can be efficiently accessed from outside of the blockchain, such as using the JavaScript, PHP. So whenever this emit or whenever this event is fired or triggered, this will be recorded as a log onto the blockchain. So that log can be accessed via the JavaScript or any other front-end application and can be shown onto the screen. So when the log is recorded, and that same log can be taken out and can be presented onto the screen. So this is just like a publish and subscribe pattern. So this is for this purpose the event will be used in this Solidity. Now we'll move on to another interesting function called payable. Payable functions are functions upon executing the amount required for the task execution will be automatically deducted after users from the user's account. Whenever a function is payable, if the function is executed by a user, there obviously every function will be has to spend some gas points for execution. But from whose account that many gas points related ethers should be deducted. So whenever you mention a function as payable, if any user executes that function, automatically the related gas points and related ethers will be automatically deducted from the user who initiated the function execution. So payable functions are the functions upon executing, the amount required for the task execution will be automatically deducted from the user's account. For example, I am the user, I have executed a function which is a payable function. Whatever the execution amount is required, that amount will be deducted from my account. Like that, some X user might have done the same. From his account, that amount will be deducted. So automatically the amount will be deducted from that account. So the following program is to demonstrate the payable function. There exists a fixed number of tickets and a price is fixed for each ticket. User can buy the ticket only if the value spent is. So here, contract payable demo, address owner, unsigned integer tickets. So anyone can purchase maximum of ticket to 1 ether. Fixing a ticket to 1 ether. Constant price is equal to 1 ether. If it is Y, you can write WEIY. Like that, you can write any denomination of ether. Mapping, it's an associative array for mapping owner and number of tickets purchased. So address, especially address, is used for the indication of the user, and uint is especially for how many tickets he is holding. So this mapping is purchasers. So constructor uint note number of tickets. So owner is equal to message.sender, the one who created this contract, and tickets, you can mention how many number of tickets are there. Function buy tickets, uint amount, function public payable. For example, I am buying a ticket, automatically that much amount will be deducted from my account. If you are buying the ticket, then that much amount will be deducted from your account. Check for the number of tickets requested and the value in ethers is invested is sufficient to purchase the tickets or not. If the value is not sufficient, then revert the transaction. So the message.value, that means whatever I am entering, is not equal to amount into price. Okay, the number of tickets are, for example, 2. So I have to provide at least two tickets, two ethers. Then only that amount will be deducted from my account, and the number of tickets will be allotted. So MSD dot value not equal to amount into price, or amount is greater than tickets. That means the number of tickets requested is greater than the existing tickets. Then also this operation should not happen. So thereby, if this condition holds, that is message dot value is not equal to amount star price, or amount is greater than tickets, this operation will not happen and it will be reverted. If it is successful, then the amount will be deducted. If it is not successful, no amount will be deducted from your account. That means if this condition is failed, so if this condition is true and revert was happened, amount will not be deducted from your account. But if this condition is not, is failed and no revert operation was happened, then automatically it will go to the next operation, next statement's execution. So automatically the related amount will be deducted from your account. So increase the number of tickets purchased by user. So purchasers of message.sender, the one who requested for buying tickets, plus is equal to amount. So that amount will be added to this purchaser's account. Deduct the purchaser tickets from the available tickets. Tickets is equal to tickets minus amount, or it is a shorthand for representing tickets minus is equal to amount, or tickets is equal to ticket minus amount. While purchasing a ticket by any user and found that there are no tickets, the amount invested by the user must return back to his or her account. So for this, if tickets is equal to 0, then no investment will be taken or no amount will be taken. So self-destruct of MSG.sender. So whenever you call for the self-destruct, whatever the amount which was deducted from the user's account, that will be returned back, and that particular construct and that particular contract will be destructed, so that that contract will not be available to the next users. This is the way the payable function will be used. Another type of functions are like fallback functions. The fallback functions are a special type of functions available only in Ethereum. A fallback function is invoked when no function name matches the called function. So a fallback function does not have an identifier or a function name. That means you have called a function which is not related to defined functions in the contract. In such cases, the fallback function will call. So you can go through this definition thoroughly. The fallback function are a special type of functions available only in Ethereum. A fallback function is invoked. Please go through this. A fallback function is invoked when no function name matches the called function. A fallback function does not have an identifier or function name. It is defined without a name, just like this. Function external payable. It must be declared as external and payable. Since it cannot be called explicitly, it cannot accept any arguments or return any value. Writing a fallback function to buy one ticket by default. A fallback function do not have any name and it must be declared as external. This is a rule from the 0.5.0 library onwards. So function external payable by tickets. So without anything, just if anyone clicks this, if anyone calls this payable callback function, by default buy tickets of 1, automatically 1 ticket will be purchased. Function ticket status public view returns event and return the number of tickets. So this is what we call callback function. That means without having any name or without having anything, just if you want to get some tickets, then we can go through this callback function and can get one ticket by default. I'm using the remix ID and copy pasted this payable demo. Pragma Solidity 0.5.10 I have selected. The compiler is also 0.5.0 and compiled. Then let will go to the virtual machine. That is so here we have selected the virtual machine as this one, and we need to deploy. The number of tickets are less, for example 5, and deploy. So now it was deployed, because in the constructor the number of tickets that we are supposed to open for selling, that we are supposed to mention here. So the number of tickets are 5 and deploy. Now once deployed, you can see here the payable demo. You can find the payable demo here. So buy tickets, purchasers, ticket status. So buy tickets is one thing, and one function we have written, and ticket status, and this one. So now if you call ticket status, then total 5 tickets are there. Buy tickets. Now I'm selecting different purchaser. So second account I am selecting. Then buy tickets. Here one ticket I am going to purchase, and buy tickets. So for this you can go through this value. You are supposed to place value here 1 ether, and it is ether. You have to select 1 ether, and after this buy tickets, just will go for buy tickets. Now the transaction is successful. 1 ether was spent for the purchasing of ticket. So you look at, one must get 99 here, but I got 98.999 something. The reason is here the transaction fee is also collected. Not only 1 ether deducted, but also the gas points to be spent for the ticket, what you call this buying of the ticket will be deducted. And then afterwards, if I copy this address and I can use this address here, then purchasers. So how many tickets purchased by this so and so address? So 1 ticket was there. So 1 ticket was purchased. So now ticket status, if you will get refresh. This whole thing was refreshed, and 4 tickets were there. So this is the way how the things works. Next, we'll move on to the contract to contract communication. That means how 2 contracts can be communicated. Pragma Solidity, the library, contract calculator, function add of int a comma int b, view public, return a plus b, multiply. So this is the calculator. Now we can use contract dummy. So calculator calc is equal to new calculator. It is just like a direct object creation in Java programming. calculator calc is equal to new calculator. If you know the instance address, directly you can pass the instance address. The instance may be accessed as follows: calculator calc is equal to new calculator of address. Both are acceptable. Both way of creation is acceptable. Function 2 times 10 view public returns. So return calc dot multiply of 2 comma 10. Function 2 plus 10, so calc dot add of 2 comma 10. That means the calc object I am using in another contract, because that is called some dummy like that, and making use of this object and getting the functions from this object. So object creation can be done in 2 ways. One is a fresh instance, or you might have already created the instance and you just pass the instance address into this constructor and you may make use of that particular object. So these are the two ways with which you can get the object of a contract and can work with that particular object. So this is what we call contract to contract communication. We can also write any number of contracts, and we may call the instance of a contract in another contract and can make use of the functions from that object.